Welcome back, everyone, to the ULTY portfolio update. Today is Friday, October 10th, and what a day in the ULTY portfolio. What a day for stocks overall. If you haven't heard the news, you've managed to escape it somehow. The markets are down an incredible amount. I think the headline was that almost $700 billion was wiped out of the stock markets today on the news that there's going to be an extra 100% tariff on Chinese imports, as well as export controls in the US on critical software. Now, it's not 100% clear what critical software means in this context, but the markets reacted to that not only during the regular trading hours, because this news came out pretty much after the markets closed, and the after hours trading was absolutely brutal. I'm looking now on my screen at the Seeking Alpha portfolio that I've created for ULTY, and you can see here that the big number is how the stock did during market hours. The small number in red, if you look, let's say, at Rocket companies, down 1.59% in after hours trading. MP Materials and Rocket companies were the only stocks up today. MP Materials, of course, is a rare earth mining company, and so they were up on the news that there were tariffs going to be imposed on Chinese goods because China is the world's largest producer of rare earth materials. But even they were down 0.43% in after-hours trading. The worst performer on the day was BitMine Immersion Technologies. They were down 11%. Let's flip over, but just to see what I was seeing throughout the day, huge numbers. It looks a little bit better when I scale it, but even then, only 2 winners on the day out of the 22, 20 losers. Let's see, the average stock in the ULTY portfolio was down almost 7% in one day. So quite a bloodbath in the ULTY portfolio today. Let's look at the price of ULTY. Today it was down 2.75%, closed the day at 531, but in after hours it dropped to as low as $5.14 a share. And it was a very steep and fast decline in those after hours trading. It seems to have pulled back a little bit to 532. So hopefully no more news comes out for the rest of the day that would cause people to sell off on these stocks, a lot of which are software stocks. Like, who knows if SoundHound AI is going to be a critical software, or if Palantir probably is going to be considered one. CoreWeave could be considered one. Maybe Affirm or Robinhood or Upstart would be considered critical softwares, and they might be affected by those tariffs. So that's kind of what happened to the ULTY portfolio. We don't want to dwell on it for too long, but we'll face the reality that only 9% of the portfolio was up today. Now, let's look at specific trades and options trades, because those aren't doing too well either. Opendoor, it was nice to see that although the stock dropped to 757 and we're now down 18.5 million on the Opendoor trade, they did put in some more covered calls. We can see at the bottom here, they did 9 trades today. A lot were closeouts, but they also bought some more, or they also sold some more puts, bought a few puts as well, and then sold some covered calls. The net of all that was they collected about 1.2 million in option premium today. So total, we are just down about 7.4 million. And I don't actually have the ROI there, so let me do that for you guys. So the ROI on that would be down almost 9%, which is bad, but not bad when you consider the Figma trade, which is now down 10%, they are negative in the price action. So average price is 63.48, and they are negative in the options. So the average price is 63.48. The current price is 61.06, down 4.5 million on the trade. And then for options, they're down 8.49 million. So total, they're down 13 million, or down 10% in this Figma trade here. They did not buy any more Figma or sell any Figma or even put any more trades on Figma. I think, let me clear out the highlights from here. These trades that they put for 1017, these covered calls and these puts are kind of the trades that will be holding until next week, unless you get more price movement in Figma and they need to close some of these out. But these covered calls here, all around the $70, $75 range, are expiring on October 17th. Now the Lucid trade over here, even though it's down the least, so I guess I'm happy to be talking about that. Lucid, their average price is $23.52. The current price of Lucid is $20.98, down 11.4 million, and in options credit, they've collected 3.8 million for a net of down 7.6 million, down 7%. Now, looking at the trades we placed in early September, we see that this is now turned negative, down 2.7 million. Figma is down. Symbolic and MP Materials are the only two holding this new trades group up. Lucid down 11 million. That is the biggest loser out of this portfolio. Remember, they increased their shares to 4.5 million. And we see also that QUBT and BMNR are also down as well. Overall, they're down a little bit under 1% at minus 0.34%. So now turning to just ULTY on the week, it was down 3.63% just in price. Adjusting for dividends, down 2% on the week. So it was a good week for ULTY for most of it until pretty much the last few trading hours of Friday, when the markets absolutely got clobbered, especially the software companies held by ULTY. So Monday should be an interesting day. We'll see if there's any news over the weekend that might drive some of these even lower, or maybe there might be a news item that brings them up higher if perhaps those tariffs get canceled. That's what kind of happened the last time around, was ULTY took a big dive, as did the rest of the market, but then when the tariffs were canceled or suspended, the markets recovered in pretty much a V shape. So if that could happen again, that would be great. Anyways, everyone, I hope you have a fantastic weekend, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.